I don't know. I mean, I early in the year, I think we're getting similar shots, and I kept thinking earlier in the year, like, we have good shooters who make a lot of shots in practice, shooting open shots, and now they're going in a little bit more. And so, hopefully we can maintain that, and maybe people just have a little bit higher level confidence level, and they've seen it go in a little more recently. But I think that'll certainly be a big key for our continued success. She really ran the floor, and she's really fast. She's a great athlete, and you see her get better each week, and she gets more comfortable, playing out there. But I thought she ran the floor before Penn State could get their defense set, and she got a lot of easy baskets that way. She also played really well, kind of behind the zone, and moved herself around, and we were able to find her, and she was really efficient finishing around the rim.
You talk about the sophomore class, Jaloni, Ava, Elsa. What the chemistry that you've been able to grow the three of them over the last year and a half?
Yeah, they're all great kids who play very unselfishly, and they bring different skill sets to our team. And Jaloni obviously is so gifted with the ball in her hands, but Ava's a really, really high IQ. But they're all really. One thing they'll say that they all have in common: they all have a really high basketball IQ. They're really smart players who know how to play the game. They kind of internalize what we're trying to do from a style standpoint, from a game plan standpoint, and they all seem to make us better when they're on the court and their teammates.
Yeah, Kevin, Jaloni, what do you like best about her game? I mean, there's a lot of things, but if you had to pick something, what would it be?
Yeah, I just the pressure she puts on the opposing team with her speed and quickness and the ability to command the ball. You've really got to get back and stop her, or else she's going to get a shot for herself or her teammate. And you see a lot of people go up and down the court quickly, but the ball doesn't always come with them, or they don't always make great decisions. And she's got a rare gift with a combination of speed, quickness, and basketball IQ that I just haven't seen a whole lot before.
Speaking of that, I was around for Kelsey Mitchell.
Yep.
Compare those two. I mean, it's maybe an unfair comparison.
Yeah.
But where would they be similar and maybe different?
But they are similar in the fact that they're both so quick up the court and they have command of the ball. Kelsey was probably a score first mentality, and Jaloni might be a little more. She will certainly score, as we've seen of late, but she might be a little bit of a pass first, then score. Might be the biggest difference. And Kelsey would pass too. They're both very unselfish. But the similarity would be the pace that they're able to play with and command the ball. With Kelsey probably score first, Jaloni maybe pass first.
Defensively, Jaloni maybe
And Jaloni at this point in her career is probably a little bit further ahead than Kelsey in that space, and Kelsey got better each year with that. But yes, I think that would be fair.
Did anything change you've seen with Jaloni since before that Illinois game? You talked about her being pass first. Was there any sort of conversation about turning on that offense and trying to go in and make the shots herself, or any conversation, or did she do it herself?
Not really. She kind of has a great instinct of when to score and when to pass, and so I think the thing maybe is that we have, as a group, been emphasizing a lot of pace, and I think with that, she's kind of led the way in that charge, and it's led to a little bit more scoring opportunities for her. So hopefully we can continue that, certainly.
Where do you feel like your bigs are, just in terms of their development, where as much as you can lean on them now versus maybe earlier in the season?
Well, I think part of our we've gotten better, and part of that has been Elsa's growth and development. And she spent last summer mostly rehabbing off surgery, and just wasn't really comfortable and ready to start the year playing at the level she's capable of. And she's gotten better each week, and you can see that tonight. She's light years from where she was in the first game this year, and I still think she's a ways away from being who she's capable of being. She's very talented. She's a great kid, and she's working really hard, and so hopefully she can continue to grow and develop this year, and I think the sky's the limit for her in the future.
I know you've talked before about kind of building throughout the season, not peaking too early. Where do you feel like you are in the progress at this point?
Yeah, I think we've gotten a lot better. Take this game maybe out of it, but I don't Illinois on the road and Maryland on the road. I don't think we would have won those games a month ago, but we have gotten better. Our defensive rebounding have gotten better, and it wasn't good tonight. So we got to get back to make sure we continue to get better in that space. We've shot the ball better lately, so hopefully we can continue to do that. So we've gotten better. I still think that we can be a more consistent team, which would allow us to get closer to 40 minutes of playing the way we want to play.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thanks,
Sure,
everybody.
thank you.
Jaloni, how much fun is it as a point guard when you're playing at a night when so many people are shooting well, and when you do find an open shooter, it feels like they're going to make it every time?
I have so much confidence in my teammates. Every time I throw them the ball, I think it's going in. I've been playing with Ava for a long time, since 6th grade. And in AAU, I used to throw the ball to her and turn around before she even shot the ball. So every time I pass it to my shooters, I'm going to do the same thing every time. I'm so happy for them. I love when my teammates are eating, literally. Any chance they get to play good, like, I'm always going to be their biggest supporter.
And then for you personally, it's your 3rd straight game, multiple threes made in a single game. Does it feel like you found maybe a zone, if anything, with your 3-point shot?
I guess you could say that. But like I said, I'm just open. And if I get in the rhythm, once I get in the rhythm, it's too late. Like, you lost it. It's too late. If I get in the rhythm, you're in trouble. So, yeah.
You're kind of jumping off what Bobby said. 3-point shooting was kind of a struggle for you guys a little earlier this season. How much important is it that you guys are getting that going and finding that momentum beyond the arc?
Yeah, our teammates stepped up at the right time when we needed it the most. Like I said, in the Maryland game, they wanted to leave us open, and we made them pay for that.
And, well, we make a lot in practice, so it was really only a matter of time before we started making them in the game.
Yeah, we have great shooters. We just have to show it, and we're starting to show that finally. Because we've had stretches where it's been good, where it's been bad. But I think that, this is when it matters the most, is conference play. We've got to knock down shots. Tom?
And Elsa, last year you came in for Petty, and you against them so long.
It's definitely harder for me coming in as a starter playing against them, because last year when I was coming off the bench, my coaches knew I was coming off the bench to be able to guard them. Now I'm kind of expected to do on both ends, offense and defense. So it's been a little bit harder, especially since they're such good players.
And you guys have a non-conference game against CCU coming up, President game